tomorrow game as well. So here we go. First pitch high and away to Jake Schaffner.
Now, Jake Schaffner, Len, one of the best players, not only on the North Dakota State team, but in the Summit Conference, a preseason player of the year by Division I baseball in that Summit League, and a guy who's already off to a fantastic start, batting .436.
Well, to add to that, Ronnie, and to strengthen his case early in the season, he's hit safely in every game.
And how about this? Here's a part of the reason why he's such a good player, Lynn. 39 at-bats this season. He's got 2 walks, so that's 41 plate appearances. He only struck out twice, and that's so good. That's why his on-base percentage is .465.
He lifts a pop fly to the left side. Milam will let the left fielder handle it, and Derek Curiel is out there to make the catch. So a pop-up off the bat of Schaffner. Out to left field for the first out. Here's Dante Smith. LSU defensively. This is another part of LSU's game which has been impressive in the early part of the season. Curiel, Stanfield, and Brown in the outfield. That pitch is a strike to Smith. On the infield, it's Braswell at third, Milam the shortstop. Dickinson at second base, Jones on first, and Aaron Beatty is catching.
Now Ware got a benefit of a call that time. That pitch a little elevated, called the strike. Here's Dante Smith out of Canada. There are a number of Canadians like you would expect on the North Dakota State team.
Aaron Beatty is not going to be able to get to this in time. A swinging third strike.
That's a good pitch by Ware. Nice wipeout pitch, 0-2. You'd like to see your catcher block that. Especially as a pitcher, that is the worst. When you know to throw the ball in the dirt. That's the plan. You're kind of trusting your battery mate back there to block it for you. Instead, you give up a cheap one as North Dakota State's able to get a base runner when they should have had it out.
It's a strikeout and a wild pitch. And here's Kyle Law. And a throw at first base misfires. Smith is around second. He's on his way to third. Here's the peg. It's high. It's backed up. No further advanced. But by way of some shaky fielding and execution by the Tigers, there's now a runner at third base and only one out.
Here's the throw over, and yeah, it definitely was a little bit too far. Hit off the glove of Jones. You'd like to maybe see your teammate get that one. And I thought it was a little bit risky for Dante Smith to try to make it to third, but he didn't slow down at all, going around second and made it easily.
That'll be a throwing error on the pitcher. A 2-base throwing error on the pickoff attempt. Did you ever have one in your career like that?
Did I ever throw one away on a pickoff attempt?
Yeah.
Never. Never, Lynn. Not one time.
That's impressive. Of course, most batters proceeded past first base.
All throws were always perfect.
There's a bender. It's downstairs.
Here's Kyle Law at the plate. He's gotten off to a slow start, 206. But they like his power. They think he's got some of the most, some big pop. Right now his job is to shorten up. He's got 14 strikeouts this year, leads the team. And right here, second on the team rather, all they want to do is Kyle Law to just hit a ground ball to second.
He has seen a lot of curveballs, hasn't he?
Oh, that's Ware's got that good bender, kind of old school lefty curve.
The head of Chris Stanfield in center field. And Law not only gets the RBI on his first triple of the season, but he's in scoring position with just one out.
Fastball, missed the location. That's up around the letters, but watch right here. Stanfield's on it. He tracks it and just misses it. I mean, I thought Stanfield had a chance to catch that. It looked like he just kind of misjudged the ball because he was on it. He wasn't over his head or underneath him. It was just to the left of his glove. But get credit to Bison. They have come out adrenalized here in the first inning. And the LSU Tigers have been rocky and continue to be in this first.
Most sports fans know the sport that the Bison are most famous for and that's football, of course. They've won just under 800 games in football.
There's Jay Johnson going to have this isn't just a word for his pitcher. This is for the whole infield team. Like, okay, guys, we settle down. We're playing a real baseball game here.
How many football championships do you think North Dakota State has?
I would say they've got...
We're counting D1 and D2.
I would say they've got 10 national championships.
A little more than that, 18.
Oh, my.
35 conference championships. They've had 3 losing seasons since 1964.
That is pretty good. You know, they come in here with a 1-9 record.
Yep.
And you know, you've got to believe for North Dakota State, you know, when you're LSU and you face those teams from the north and they're playing in this ballpark, in this historical park, they're adrenalized, and you got to overcome that adrenaline early in the game and kind of wear them down. And the way you do that is by not making silly mistakes and errors. And LSU is helping out the Bison right now, giving them opportunities.
The infield is back. It will concede potentially a second run here in the first inning. There will be no play on Davis Hamilton's pop-up. North Dakota State has 3 players with significant hitting streaks. Schaffner has hit safely in every game.
Now Hamilton, a junior, off to a very good start. 323 average. Again, a little bit too much of the elevated middle of the plate, and he doesn't try to pull it, goes with it the other way through the 5-hole, and that's his 11th base hit and 8th RBI of the season.
So it brings on Gordon with a 4-game hitting streak. And a fastball pops the mitt, but it's upstairs. These teams would not be playing in Fargo tonight. It's 27 degrees. Down to 19 tonight, by the way.
Be curious to see which feels colder, 27 in Fargo or 27 in Baton Rouge. Because I was talking to the coaches before the game for North Dakota. They said they played a game over at Lamar. They played 2 games against Lamar, got beat in those 2 games by Will Davis, former LSU Tiger squad. And they said the temperature was in the low 30s during those games, but it felt way colder than that. They said they were miserable, and that's coming from North Dakota State squad.
It's got that humidity which gets into your bones and hangs on in cold weather, especially for us old people. That's a called third strike.
And a couple of really nice back-to-back breaking balls by Ware, which he hasn't. That's a pitch he's going to probably rely on a little bit more. Fastball 90-91. We'll run a 92 up there, which used to be fast. Now that's just average. So he's going to need that breaking ball.
Yep. And the thing about the last bender, it started well out of the strike zone and then broke back in to catch a piece of the outside edge. So it's a pitch you give up on as a hitter early, and if it twists its way back over the plate, you're paralyzed. Hamilton has a pretty healthy lead at first and draws a throw. A fly ball to left, a strikeout but a wild pitch allowed Smith to get to first base, then a 2-base throwing error on a pickoff attempt before Law tripled to center field, and Hamilton followed that with a base hit, scoring Law 2-0 North Dakota State. We play in the top of the first inning in Baton Rouge. These teams are scheduled to play tomorrow at 6:30 p.m.
Will Mann helped out Ware a little bit that time. Mann off to a slow start this year, pressing a little bit. Coaches said they want to get it. He's got to get it going. They have expectations for this junior left field.
These teams played a couple of times in Baton Rouge last year, and LSU beat North Dakota State 7-0 and 6-1. The outfield plays Mann as.
So North Dakota State's already scored more runs in one inning than they did last year in 2 games against LSU. That'll make you feel a little bit better.
The runner is moving on a delayed steal. That was beautifully executed.
Yeah.
The base runner Hamilton did not leave with the release of the pitch. He waited a count. He hasn't left yet, and now Arambidi sees him on the move, and nobody could recover in time.
Well, that always, and that's a play that you don't see very often. You know, more than you probably should have, and that got him on the jersey. The delayed steal of the lefty at the plate is always a good play. Let's see how much it gets of Mann. Oof! Did that get any of them?
Maybe a thread.
Boy, that's the kind of hit by pitch you want if you're batting .043. One that maybe doesn't even touch you.
Meanwhile, a pock-marked first inning continues. A couple of runs in, a chance to get some more. Urlaub at the plate. He spells his last name U-R-L-A-U-B, from West Fargo, North Dakota.
Well, I saw Connor Ware throw in the fall probably 3 times, Lynn, and he was super locked in and sharp. Had tremendous command. This has been not that here in the first inning. Now his teammates haven't necessarily helped him a little bit, but he has been a little bit all over. It's his 25th pitch of the inning. That's a large number.
Urlaub is still trying to find his footing at the plate, batting .154. He watches that one ride high. 3-1, 2 outs, 2 on, 2 in. Urlaub lifts it behind the plate. First baseman Jones is chasing. So is Arambidi, and neither one of them can get to it.
Man, that's a shame if you're Ware and you needed that to limit your pitch count here in the first. This has got to be Jones's ball. You know, the first baseman has got a much better chance of getting this than the catcher. But he comes in kind of giving it away to Arambidi, but that's definitely got to be the first baseman's ball, or even the pitcher at that. You know, the pitcher could have come over as well.
The 3-2 pitch, runners moving, fouled away. This is the first inning the Tigers would like to put behind them as quickly as possible. It has been fraught with errors. Runners will be leaving again. Connor Ware looking for a third out pitch right here. And the inning continues.
Yeah, boy, that not caught foul ball is going to be costly for the Tigers. I got to believe they're going to get somebody up in the pen. They don't have anyone right now, but in this situation, you know, we've already had a mound visit. You're at 29 pitches. You know, if this could get away from him if Connor Ware doesn't make a good pitch here early.
Tate, Martin, from Vancouver, British Columbia. Takes it upstairs, ball 1. He's the designated hitter. That levels the count. Martin is 0 for 3 on the year. LSU will send some bullpen people from the first base dugout down to the gate in the right field corner to get to the bullpen. There's a strike on the inside edge.
Boy, that kind of where we'll say thank you for that one. Catcher caught that on the chalk and pulled it back and got the call. That was a big call for the pitcher.
The 2-2 pitch. Perhaps a little low. And now, for the second straight time, the runners will have the advantage of moving with the delivery. Newt is warming up in the LSU bullpen. There's a strike in the upper part of the zone to Tommy Simon.
Now DJ Primo is actually the one that's up throwing, the lefty from Central. He is, but he hasn't even made it to the rubber yet. So I mean, we've got Newt, we've got Primo that are down there, but they're still a ways away from being game ready.
Ware is working ahead to Simon, 0-2. And there's a call, third strike. So certainly an inning with a lot of highs and lows in it. 9 Bison came to the plate. 3 of them scored. We go to the bottom of the first. There are 7 300 hitters in this lineup for the LSU Tigers. At the top, Derek Curiel in left field, Jared Jones at first base, Daniel Dickinson at second base. Josh Pearson is the DH. Stephen Milam, in his last 5 games, he's 10 for 23 with a couple of homers, a double, and 9 driven in. Jake Brown follows in right field. Cade Arambidi, very impressive start. Certainly Curiel has. 432 is his average. A team leading 19 hits. 5 of those have been for extra bases. And he's knocked in 11 runs.
Now he's got more walks than strikeouts. I always like to see that stat, particularly with a young hitter. That tells me he has a very good understanding of the strike zone.
And you can say the same thing for the next hitter, although it's certainly a very different case in Jared Jones. 12 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Now these are two guys that there were a lot of expectations on going into the season, and they've done nothing through the first 20% of this year to slow down those expectations. And you know, for Jared Jones, he was a guy, if you remember his freshman year, LSU basically put him on the bench for the last month of the season. You know, down the stretch, went with Cade Beloso and others offensively, and you know, didn't think he had an understanding of the breaking ball and would benefit coming off the bench. They didn't really need him off the bench, so he was kind of a forgotten guy that last 30 days or so of the year. But then last year, of course, exploded with 28 homers, and then now he is the man, and he understands that teams are going to pitch around him, and he has to be patient, and he has been.
It's hard to overlook 28 home runs, isn't it?
Now, we mentioned Derek Curiel and how good he is. That's now his 14th walk of the season. That leads the team, and he came in with an on-base percentage of .576, and it'll go up. I mean, that's incredible.
Jones waits. Ball one. He has the strength and the discipline to hit some of the longest collegiate home runs that will be seen this year.
That'll put a runner in scoring position. So North Dakota State taking a page out of LSU's book in the first inning and kind of giving some free ones.
Look at his production, Jared Jones, over the last 5 games. An .810 slugging percentage, 10 for 21, hitting nearly .500 with 8 runs batted in, 4 doubles and a homer. That's going to be ruled a passed ball, the previous pitch. There is a very slight wind blowing from right to left. Not much of a factor at the moment at all. Jones generally does not need any aid at the plate.
How about that? They turned him loose, and that's part of the modern game of baseball over the last 5 to 10 years that is so different than what you saw for the first 140 years of baseball, and that is turning hitters at all levels, major leagues, college, turning hitters loose 3-0. Not everybody, but your best guys. Sorry, but Curiel got caught flat-footed big time, and that was an out that the Bison should have had. Watch Curiel in the bottom of your screen, doesn't even move. And that probably, a little better throw on the third base side of the bag, and they get him.
The 3-2 pitch. Whacked foul the other way. Jared Jones waits for the second 3-2 pitch. That bat looks like a corn dog in his hand. And he lays off of it, a good at bat. And Ronnie, that's exactly what you've been talking about this year, with Jones being much more patient. And he's had twice as many walks as he has strikeouts.
Well, that's also part of why Jay Johnson can trust him and turn him loose 3-0, is that he has confidence in the understanding of the strike zone. And LSU's top 2 hitters, Curiel and Jones, both show patience. They understand, hey, it's 9 innings. We can't get those 3 runs back all by ourselves. It's going to be, got to take our time.
Dickinson comes to the plate with 3 home runs. That leads the team in tonight's lineup. He's also driven in a very impressive 21 runs in 12 games. That's pretty stout. From Richland, Washington. LSU with Curiel and Jones aboard. Pearson is on deck. Josh Pearson. One and 2 on the sweeper. He goes down swinging, a very well-delivered pitch.
Well, I tell you what,
Sargent.
Matt Sargent figured it out that at bat. I mean, that was a really nice slider that he threw to Dickinson.
Mann, Law, and Smith in the outfield for North Dakota State. Hamilton, Schaffner, Simon, and Erlob on the infield, and Gordon is catching. So Dickinson was unable to move the runners. They remain at second and first with 1 out. And here's Josh Pearson from West Monroe. This is his 8th start this year. He's a senior. And the pitch.
Ooh.
Finds the inside part of the plate.
That plate is a little bit big right now. Watch this slider. Watch the catcher. Nice pull. Pearson does stand right. Look at his toes are right near the white part of the plate. He is right on it. And how about Sargent? Walks the first 2 batters. Fastball command isn't there. And then all of a sudden now the last 2 guys, he settled in. Made a really nice couple of back-to-back sliders. He painted one on the inside corner, pushed Pearson off the plate. Then he went back door with it.
I'll tell you what, Sargent is about to get a field promotion.
I thought you would save that one till a little bit later on, but I mean, I guess you might as well. You never know how long he's going to last, so go ahead and use it now. That was a good one. Another good one. He just missed that time, but he's now has that feel. Slider 82, 84 miles an hour. Moving it on both sides of the plate.
Milam with a dozen runs batted in. He's homered twice. Sargent trying to work out of a hot water spot. Curiel and Jones both walked, and then he struck out Dickinson. He struck out Pearson. 2 outs, 2 on. LSU trails 3-0, bottom of the first. Stephen Milam smashes it. It's caught by the third baseman. What a play to save a run. Sensationally done by Hamilton. Davis Hamilton leaves his feet. Connor Ware comes back out to work the 2nd inning and feeds a good strike to Schaffner. The Bison batted around in the 1st inning. Let's see if Jake Brown can get there. He does. This field drains so well. There was standing water on it an hour and a half before the game, and then it just percolated through the drainage system, and footing is about normal.
I mean, it's incredible. As much rain that came down in Baton Rouge today, especially in the afternoon, it looks like it didn't rain a drop here at the box. Grounds crew did a fantastic job. Take a look. That's 2 hours or so before game time. That's amazing. Around 4 o'clock Central, that's what it looked like. And the game started at 6:30. And yet, by the time 6:30 rolled around, you could not tell that it even happened.
Connor Ware, by the way, issued 38 pitches in the 1st inning, 22 for strikes. He struck out the side in between several mistakes by his Tiger teammates and himself. He also hit a batter, walked a couple. There's a call, 3rd strike. And Connor Ware has now fanned 4 as he gets Smith for the 2nd time. This brings on Kyle Law, who tripled in a run to center field in the 1st inning and scored on a base hit by Hamilton.
Now, this is exactly what Jay Johnson wanted to see, that Connor Ware bounce back here in the 2nd inning. That's his 8th pitch of the inning after throwing 38 in the 1st. That's way too many. And he has found his command.
And he's working quickly now. That was a nice twister for the call, 2nd strike. The pitch, swing and a miss. So in short order, in fact only 10 pitches after 38 issued in the 1st inning, Connor Ware does exactly what his coaches wanted to see. He settles in, throws.
For LSU, they went from jumping in pools, celebrating winning their tournament in Frisco, Texas, and holding up, championship belts and taking pictures and all that. And here we are on Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The crowd's a little down, from where it normally is because of the holiday and because of the weather earlier with the rain. They probably think, well, we got this 1-9 team coming in here. We'll take care of business. And all of a sudden, you get punched in the mouth in the first inning, and that'll get your attention. And Jay Johnson's letting them know about it.
Jake Brown out of Sulphur. Hitting a very solid .355. 11 hits. Let's add one to the total. Jake Brown with a dozen hits now. 3 of them have been doubles. And he sets the table here in the second. LSU in Frisco, Texas won 3 games. They beat Kansas State. They beat Nebraska. They beat Sam Houston. Josh Pearson had a hot weekend. 3 doubles, a couple of runs driven in, 3 walks. He was 6 for 9. Curiel had a double, a triple, 4 driven in. He was 5 for 12. And Pearson was named the most outstanding player.
It's not just the 6 for 9 for Josh Pearson. It's also the wind. The big at-bats, big moments.
Yeah.
He comes through, and that's sort of been, no matter his average, that's sort of been his reputation throughout his career. And right now, LSU offensively, actually the offense played well over the weekend. The pitching actually had some trouble at times finding the strike zone. But the offense really picked it up, and now Jay Johnson has some options in the outfield. He's got a number of guys that are swinging a hot bat.
This is a very catchable pitch.
Yeah, that slider
Do you think maybe that was a cross-up?
I don't know. I think he just boxed it up. It was a slider that I think he started out pretty wide. I think he expected it to break more than it did, and sort of caught it off the heel. Probably needed to roll his wrist over and catch it the other way.
And then gets it over to first base for the out. Hamilton has been tested a couple of times, and he's passed the test. Ronnie, I've got one more note about the North Dakota weather, because this is astonishing. The lowest recorded temperature. This ball is driven deep to right field, but it's going to be playable in front of the warning track, and it's caught out there by Dante Smith, and Jake Brown easily moves to third base for the second out of the inning, caught in right field off the bat of Braswell. The lowest temperature in history in North Dakota was minus 60 in 1936. Okay, that's not the amazing part. The same year they recorded the highest temperature in history.
Oh, wow.
121. How do you go from minus
1936?
1936. How do you go from minus 60 to 121?
So they had global warming in 1936, huh? Wow. His 6th RBI of the season. He started, this is his 12th start of the year, played 13 games, and that was a big one. LSU that's needed a two-out knock to get on the board, get a little confidence, see if they put Stanfield in motion. He's 1 for 1 in stolen bases this year.
I really don't know why you wouldn't. 2 outs. LSU gets 1 of its 3 back. Stanfield has a healthy lead and draws a throw. The outfield is pretty deep and straight away for Curiel. A lazy wind blows from right to left and a little bit out towards center field. This is hit sharply and turned into an out by Tommy Simon. Well done at second base. So the Tigers get a run on a base hit by Brown, an RBI single by Stanfield. And they cut into the gap a little bit. It's now 3-1. North Dakota State leads with the third inning. Straight in it for the Bison.
Connor Ware about to deliver his 50th pitch of the ball game. Last time out went 4 innings.
He got a whole lot more efficient, though, in the second inning, did Connor Ware, than the first.
Yeah, 10 pitches in that second inning. Big improvement from the 38 he chunked in the first inning.
And 9 of those 10 pitches, Ronnie, were strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Davis Hamilton out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
Oh, that got him on the elbow.
Hamilton has been on twice. He had an RBI single last time. That's why you wear the elbow guard, is it not?
Yep.
Noah Garden struck out in the first. He bunts it to the right side. They're going to let it roll, and it takes a right turn.
LSU set to play 5 games this week for the second week in a row. 1 today, 1 tomorrow, and then 3 this weekend against Northern Alabama.
The SEC season is in sight.
They will open up an SEC play, not this weekend, but next, against Missouri at home. And Missouri has not been off to a good start this year.
6:30, 6 o'clock, and 1 p.m. are the start times for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday series against Missouri. LSU has misconnected several times early in this game, Ronnie.
Yeah, it has been a rough night a little bit back there for the young freshman, Aaron Beatty. This was a cutter, sort of a slider that wasn't able to keep in front. And so now the bunt may happen again. We're going to bunt to get him over to second. Now that he's at second base, may bunt him over to third.
2 balls and a strike, nobody out. A hit batter and a wild pitch. And that's very elevated.
A mid popper there, 88 miles an hour. So the velo is about 3 miles an hour down from where Connor Ware was in the first inning.
Tangled up with the runner coming from second to third. And the Bison a couple of times have been very aggressive on the base paths.
They made contact when the runner was moving the third. Right there, Aaron Beatty's already pulling out. He sees the runner stealing. He's trying to throw before he catches it. And you see Braswell standing in the base path when the runner rounds third base. That was one of the easier interference calls that umpires will make. I don't know if Jay's trying to buy time for the bullpen or not, but that one, as the catcher, you have to catch the ball first, then get the guy at third. That time he was trying to stand up, move his body to get ready to throw, and the ball tailed away from the glove and off of Aaron Beatty's mitt.
That is usually the standard order of business.
Yeah,
yes.
Catch it first.
Yes. In most games involving a sphere.
Well, Jaden Newt is up in the LSU bullpen. He's more than ready to go. He's been down there a while, so I would expect that you might see a pitching change here after Jay Johnson gets finished arguing his point.
Well, the first 2.5 innings have been anything but painted by a master. No changes at the moment.
Well, you got a lefty at the plate, right-hander on deck, so he probably will let him face lefty. And now he's headed to the mound. Now he realizes, okay, we're going to make the move.
So Connor Ware having problems in the first and third innings. His second inning was brilliant, but he will leave trailing by a 4-1 count against a one-win team in North Dakota State as we play in the top of the third. And we expect Newt to soon be coming out of the bullpen. Here he comes. So we will step aside here for a moment. North Dakota State off to a good start, leading LSU 4-1 in the third inning. California.
Well, Jaden Newt, for him, this is his 5th appearance on the season. He's worked so far 4 appearances, 3.86 earned run average, still small outings. He did have a save over the weekend, 2.1 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and opponents are batting 125 in a small sample size against Jaden Newt. Remember, we've talked a lot about him over the years. As a guy who was #1 right-handed pitcher out of high school, out of the state of California, and went on the shelf, sat out surgery his freshman year, didn't pitch much at all last year, a few times down the stretch, and then here he is back completely healthy, and he can be a big boost to this LSU bullpen if he's right.
So do you think Jaden Newt has the capacity or will be used, say, 25 to 30 times this year during the regular season? He's been used 5 times now.
Yeah.
Nearly half of the games that he's appeared. Yes, short appearances, but is he a guy who could get 25 or 30 mound appearances?
Yeah, because the way that Jay Johnson uses his pitchers, he doesn't extend anybody. He's going to have 16 guys, 15, 16 guys throw the ball, and because of that, guys are out there for a couple batters, maybe an inning, and makes it easy to throw, a couple times a week. Well, man hit by a pitch his first time up, had 2 strikes on him, and took one that might have caught a thread on the
Newt will make the play to second base. The out is recorded there. Milam on the cover.
And Jay will go talk about potential interference at second base. This one right back to the mound. Always love when a pitcher has the confidence to throw to second base. And Milam was there, but there's no interference. Milan was standing in front of the base, in the base path.
Do you think most pitchers on a play like that make the choice themselves? They instinctively.
Absolutely, it is.
You're going to get some help from your fielders.
No,
but
it's you have to feel it. You can't listen to the dugout or listen to your catcher. You have to kind of just know the timing from practice and stuff. Hey, that ball bounces a couple of times. I'm on it quickly. I'm able to get my feet turned in the right direction. And if it doesn't go smoothly, your bailout is just to throw it to first and take the out. But if you hesitate at all or you question the throw to second, it's too late. Good slider by Newt. So hard to pick it up out of his hand because it looks just like the fastball. The release, the nonchalant release and the release point are all the same.
Two and two on Erlob. There's not been a lot of clean pitching and receiving today by the two Tiger pitchers.
Yeah, been a little herky-jerky.
And the catcher. That's wrapped out cleanly into left field for a base hit. So Mann, who has not been a factor offensively, has been on twice. He came into the ball game hitting .043. The Tigers have hit him with a pitch, and he responds with a clean base hit to left field. Or I should say Erlob. Erlob came in batting .154.
Either way, they both needed a hit and got it.
Yeah, they did.
Let's go, dude.
Here's Tate Martin from Vancouver, British Columbia. There's that twister, Ronnie, the little late break.
Yep. Newt's going to be, got good stuff. Going to be 94 with the fastball, 85 to 87 with the breaking ball.
That was 93.5 with the fastball. For those of you who like baseball books and like pitching in particular, let me recommend a book that has been on my shelf for a couple of years now, but I read it a couple of years ago. I need to go back and reread it. It's called The 10 Most Important Pitches of Baseball. So they identify 10 different types of pitches. Some are modern, some aren't, and do profiles of the pitchers who were especially effective with that type of pitch and how it developed and the current thinking about it. It's a fascinating book.
Oh, that one just missed. That was an excellent take because that one looked like it might have caught the bottom of the zone, but good take by the number 8 hitter Tate Martin.
So the bases are loaded again, and that's been a frequent predicament for LSU.
Anyway, that's 2 excellent walks by Tate Martin. Remember, he had an RBI with the bases loaded. He took a couple close ones, 2-2, 3-2. Did the same thing, not as close on that last pitch with 3-2, but Martin hadn't yet to get a base hit, but in his 5 at-bats, he's come through with some nice walks.
LSU will send Grant Fontenot down to the bullpen.
Now DJ Primo's already down there. He's plenty loose, so he'll get some company by Fontenot. But this is definitely not how Nate Yeske expected to spend his Mardi Gras Tuesday, having pitching struggles early on in this game against the 1-9 Bison.
There is no room for Simon. That's a good fastball and a late cut. Couldn't quite make up the distance between himself and that soft liner out into right field. And this North Dakota State team continues to score against LSU. It's 5-1.
They got pitched by Newt up in the zone. And how about the number 9 hitter, Tommy Simon, goes and gets the barrel on top of the baseball and hits it out to right field. And so how about a base hit by the number 8, by the number 7 and 9 hitters in your lineup, and an excellent walk by the 8-hole. And Jay Johnson's going to make another pitching change, and we're still in the 3rd inning.
Primo is the next reliever for LSU. 3 in the 1st for North Dakota State, 2 more in the 3rd, and a chance to add to the total. LSU picked up 1 in the 2nd. Right now it's 5-1.
Dunked a couple of guys. And right now, Jay Johnson's got to be shaking his head a little bit, thinking, what's going on? You know, this LSU pitching, which has been rock solid over the first couple of weeks, especially on the mound, has struggled going back to Sunday. To 10 walks against Sam Houston State on Sunday, and then here they are struggling to command the fastball in the strike zone early on against North Dakota State.
Primo has only allowed a couple of base hits so far this year. Still only 1 out. And a strike to Schaffner. This is the best hitter in the lineup. He came in having hit safely in every game. He has flied to left, he has flied to right.
Well, the Tigers, Primo with a really good pitch. He gets the double play ball. At least going to be 1. It takes a couple of big hops. That's a long backwards toss by Dickinson. No chance to get him. Milam probably would have been best to just arm fake it and look at the runner at 3rd. Instead, he threw it in the dirt, and Jones has got to block that ball. As a first baseman, you cannot let that ball get by you with a runner at 3rd.
You have to realize that the runner is going to be safe, even if you pluck it cleanly. So at that point, you just act like a hockey goalie.
Yeah, you got to take it off the neck, chest, whatever you got to do.
Four runs in the 3rd to accompany 3 in the 1st.
Now LSU with 3 errors is shocking. How many walks so far by Tiger pitching tonight?
Oh. You going to give me a few minutes?
I got to give you some homework.
4 walks, couple of hit batters.
2 hit batters and 3 errors.
And several wild pitches.
I mean, that is a mouthful, and we're only 2 2/3 innings in.
Dante Smith has struck out twice, but to show you the way the game is going, he also has scored a run after he struck out on a wild pitch. Seven runs on only 4 hits for the Bison. 1 run, a couple of hits, 3 errors for LSU. Primo tosses that one over the head of the hitter. And Aaron Beatty has been unable to make those types of plays tonight. It's not been an easy night for him. He's not had a lot of down the middle pitches. That one just got away. That'll put a crease in your Stetson. That's a wild pitch, adding to the total there.
Let's see what Primo can. He's in there to get these two lefties. I mean, that's why Jay Johnson put him in the ball game, to get these two left-handers, which is going to be his role this year. I'm surprised to see a 3-1 breaking ball that time.
So that's 5 walks. Five walks, 3 wild pitches, 2 hit batters. So far, not top drawer stuff from the LSU pitching staff.
And here's Law, who, remember, back in the first inning off of Connor Ware, took a ball to the base of the center field fence.
Ware struck him out the next time he went to the plate. Ronnie, the Bison have had 3 at-bats. They batted around twice. Kyle Law out of Andover, Minnesota. Let's go back and look at the 3-base hit.
The fastball from Ware was up around the letters, and that ball one-hopped the center field wall. Stanfield, I think it might have surprised them a little bit for that triple. I think it's the ball just kept carrying on him.
There's a quick strike from Primo. The 2-2 pitch with 2 aboard and 4 in for the Bison in the 3rd.
Well, this is a big pitch for the Tigers and for Primo. Primo's battling for, a spot in that bullpen for Jay Johnson to have some confidence in him. Needs a strike here.
And he gets it as he rips one right down Main Street. It will be available to you on the SEC ESPN network or the SEC network or any other ESPN platform. Jared Jones needs to get something started for the Tigers. It's one thing to trail 3-0 and 3-1. It's another thing to be trailing 7-1.
Well, for Matt Sargent, it has been a while since he's been on the mound. I mean, he's thrown 35 pitches through the first 2 innings, but that bottom of the top, whatever it was, top of the 3rd, took a long time. So we'll see if he can find the strike zone, because you can get a tendency to kind of cool off over there and lose your rhythm.
That's a well-delivered ball. Jones had a notion to swing it, but then realized he might get a better pitch to drive later in the count.
Well, you also got to take some pitches, too. You're down 7-1, so as an offense, not a bad thing to take.
That's tight. It's 3-1.
North Dakota State's not going to throw any of their top 3 starters in this game today or tomorrow, because they're saving them for the weekend. So you got an opportunity, if you're, to get down the line, get into that North Dakota State bullpen if you're LSU.
Jones walks on 5 pitches. It's the 2nd time he's drawn a base on balls. Here's Daniel Dickinson, who struck out with Curiel and Jones aboard and nobody out in the 1st. Pearson will follow. That one sweeps wide. So the Tigers with some patience here in the first couple of batters. He has missed 3 consecutive times now on Dickinson after walking Jones on 5 pitches. Matt Sargent has been handed a 7-1 lead. So Ronnie, 9 pitches already to 2 batters, 8 have been balls.
Now that's what you want if you're the Tigers. Remember, in the first inning, LSU had 2 walks. Curriell and Jones both walked to lead off the game. Tigers didn't get anything. This time around, I think it might be a little bit different. And that's what you want when you're down big. You know, in order to come back, you're not going to just get 8 doubles and a bunch of homers. You need walks, you need errors, you need a little help from the other team.
Let's see if Josh Pearson can deliver here with a pair of teammates aboard and a 6-run deficit. Ball 1. Ball 2. "11 pitches have been issued in the inning. Only one of them has been a strike." Two and 1, a much-needed strike for Sargent.
Now Josh Pearson, too, you wanted to play. He has been red hot, had a fantastic weekend. DHing tonight. The guy, obviously, who can play in the outfield for the Tigers. LSU, at least this week, is that outfield is looking pretty solid. You see the Bison with some bullpen activity going on. That's number 30, Reese Leitenberg, the senior, warming up.
The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 barely. 3 consecutive bases on balls have opened the door for the Tigers.
I think you might see a pitching change if you're North Dakota. Hard to overcome 3 straight walks.
He walked the first 2 batters to open the game, did Sargent, before retiring the next 3. And he's walked the first 3 here in the third with a 7-1 lead.
That's head coach Tyler Oaks. You see him talking. He's in his 4th season as a head coach. Started in 2021, but he's been with North Dakota State's baseball program for 10 years. He was an assistant before becoming a head coach. His dad was a longtime coach. He actually played for his father at the University of Minnesota. He was his pitching coach there. And his dad unfortunately passed away a few years back due to cancer and was coaching up until his passing. And of course, he's following in his father's footsteps. That's pretty cool. You get to play for your dad in college. That's
pretty rare, isn't it?
Not many folks get to do that. Old Tony Robichaux down the road with UL Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. He got to coach a couple of his sons, and that was special for him.
I think everybody who knew Tony still misses him, don't you?
Absolutely.
Here's Stephen Milam, a chance for LSU to reverse its fortunes. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Stephen Milam paying homage to Tommy White with the pink sleeve, huh? Got the pink batting gloves as well. Maybe he'll get some Tommy Tanks mojo right here.
He hits it sharply. There's an out at second and an out at first. A 4-6-3 double play. Simon, Schaffner, Erlob. The run scores. That ball was hit right at the second baseman with some velocity on it, and an easy double play.
I would have loved to have listened to Tyler Oaks if he would have been mic'd up on that pitcher's mound. I mean, whatever he told Sargent was amazing. Guy just walked 3 in a row, He's got Milam at the plate, and the monster grounds into a double play. That's some pretty good stuff right there. And, of course, with the Bison playing 5 games this week, they're trying to extend their pitching, like everybody. And with a 7-1 lead, they have the ability to let Sargent go, and he makes a good pitch and has them 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Jake Brown stands in the way. He had a base hit last inning. That's right through Erlob. The run scores from third. That's Dickinson. Jake Brown hit it sharply, but Erlob was unable to contain it.
Ball hit sharply by Brown, but that's a routine ground ball. Erlob didn't even get a glove on it, didn't slow it down a lick. And you want to say, boy, you feel bad for Sargent, the pitcher, but he walked 3 guys. He kind of made his own mess right there.
Base, and the side is retired. But what? LSU has been quite charitable to this point.
Well, the Tigers taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, huh? That is not what you want. When you walk and hit those leadoff batters of the inning, they come around to score more than 50% of the time in college baseball.
Hamilton, by the way, for the record, has been hit twice and singled. With an RBI, he's been on base 3 times. Gordon has struck out and walked. Out of Rogers, Minnesota is his hometown.
That was a good breaking ball. I'd expect maybe they'd throw it again. The fastball command has not been there consistently for Primo, but that breaking ball was a good one, that last one. They're missing arm side hide. Up and away every other pitch, it seems.
He got that one by him.
That was the bender again.
That finds the hole past the diving Dickinson.
Now this is actually a pretty good piece of hitting. I mean, the breaking ball, outer corner, just puts it in play, back up the middle. Not hit super hard, but just in well placed. Kind of left that one away. You saw, if you'd have seen Aaron Beatty, the catcher, wanted that ball down and in. Instead, he left it kind of out over the plate.
How about this, though? The Bison have been on base 14 times already. That's pitching from the stretch a whole lot.
Yeah, that's a ton. Will Mann squaring around the bunt. Almost got hit by a pitch, tried to pull it back.
0 for 1 tonight. He was hit by a pitch earlier. We've had more runs scored than base hits tonight. Will Mann laboring at the plate, batting .042. There's a little frustration showing right there on Jay Johnson's face and mannerisms. This has been sloppy.
Well, it's been a shockingly the first 3 innings have been a shocker to LSU fans. I mean, based off, you come off the weekend, you're feeling good about yourself. You're ranked number 1 in one poll, 2 in second in 2 other polls, and just on paper, you see 11-1, number 1 ranked LSU against 1-9 North Dakota State, who's playing their 11th game on the road in a row. You would think, no, it's a no contest, but that's the beautiful thing about the game of baseball.
Ooh. That throw by Primo almost floated past Jones.
Also 9 innings for a reason.
North Dakota is challenging the ruling on the field of out at first base. I believe their play is under further review.
Primo wanted to go to third or second with it. Instead, he ends up at first, and yeah, ooh. Boy, that's awfully close. The ruling on the field, they called him out. Let's see if we can't get another peek at it. I think it's sort of bang bang, but I don't know that there's enough there to overturn it. Here you go, take another look. Watch the Jones reaches, ball in the glove right there.
I think he's out.
I really think it's almost simultaneous touch, but the call is out. I don't think the foot beats him to the bag, beats the ball to the bag. But a lot closer than it should have been.
No doubt.
Grant Fontenot, the right-hander, is up in the LSU bullpen. He's just kind of standing around because he's ready to go if they want to make a move.
By the way, Ronnie, let's update basketball fans about the LSU-Kentucky game. Men's basketball, Kentucky 95, LSU 64. That's a final.
In Lexington.
This is taking a bit longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, they're showing the replay on the big screen Jumbotron here at Alex Box Stadium, and they really kind of went frame by frame with it. And it looks to me like he is, in fact, out. Well, we'll get the call here in a minute. The runner heading down the line for North Dakota State, the runner, he lunged towards the bag instead of running through the bag. I think that might have been a costly mistake. You're faster running through it.
After video review, the call on the field is out. North Dakota has 1 challenge remaining.
One 3 on the putout. And now Erlob comes to the plate. Alex has walked and singled and scored. But before all this, we've got another mound visit.
Yep, and Grant Fontenot will be entering the ball game.
So this is the third call to the bullpen in the first 4 innings for LSU. Tigers trail it 7-5. They've been out hit 5-3. We play in the top of the 4th inning with Fontenot coming on for LSU. We misidentified the new LSU reliever. It's Chandler Dorsy. He's making his first appearance. A junior out of Lakeland, Florida, a big fellow, 6'4", 231 pounds. So Chandler Dorsy sees his first mound action for the Tigers.
Yeah, Chandler Dorsy, a transfer out of South Florida. He was in the transfer portal. And so now this is the 16th LSU pitcher of the season, different LSU pitcher of the season. And we still haven't seen Gavin Guidry, so we'll have him soon enough, as he has a non-throwing injury that he's pretty close to getting over, and he'll be the 17th pitcher at some point this year. So a very tight spot, if you will, for Chandler Dorsey to come into the ball game. Tigers trailing by 2, runners at second and third, 1 out, and they're looking for some consistency from their pitchers. He's the 4th hurler of the day, and the 3 previous ones have been extremely inconsistent with the strike zone.
There has been a lot of disconnect tonight.
Yeah, this one over cranked by Dorsey.
Wow. Stanfield retreats, backpedaling. He's got it, and the inning is finally over. But a host of mistakes provide a couple of more runs for North Dakota State. And Bison have gone to the bullpen. This is Landon Koenig, a sophomore from Portland, North Dakota. He stands 6'6", with a high ERA in 4 appearances this year. Only 7 1/3 innings of work, a couple of walks. He has struck out some people. He's retired 9 on strikes.
Fastball's been 90-91 miles an hour in warm-ups. Big, tall fella.
And I beg your pardon, he's allowed 12 hits in those 7 innings. So that's been the problem. LSU has been held to 3 hits in the first 3 innings. One of them provided most of the runs in the 3rd inning, and that was Arambidi's 3-run homer.
A year ago, Koenig threw 40 2/3 innings for the Bison. In Summit games only, in Summit League games only. So he was very active. He had 9 starts, 1-1 record with a 6.2 earned run average.
LSU needs base runners. Law is tracking it down in center field. He backpedals and he makes the catch a couple of steps in front of the warning track. Stanfield gave it a good ride to his counterpart in center field. That follows a base hit by Chris in the 2nd. Here's Derek Curiel.
I think the team who wins this game tonight, Lynn, is going to be the team that from this point forward throws strikes.
Yeah.
I mean, because both pitching staffs have struggled with command. Obviously, the North Dakota State has taken advantage of those mistakes better than LSU, but you're going to be throwing a lot more guys over the next 5 innings. There'll be many more pitchers in this game, and whoever can command the strike zone the best will be the team that wins.
It's a hitter's count. The 2-0 pitch backs him away. Curiel walked in the 1st. He was stranded at second base. And he bounced out to the second baseman in his next at bat. He's 0 for 1. Still carrying a batting average well over 300, or well over 400. There's one of those base runners you were talking about.
I mean, that's what you want. You want those leading ladies to get on base for you. Curiel has shown that in his career, in his brief career with the Tigers. He is patient, wise beyond his age and experience level, and has no problem with taking the free pass.
Jared Jones. Time called. No, it's a time violation. That'll be ball 1 on Jones. One out, 1 on. 2-0. Jones hits it well, but Law is out there in center field, and he does not have to move very much. A liner to center for the second out. This brings on Dickinson. Seven of his 15 hits have been extra base hits this year. There's a breaking ball strike high in the zone. Dickinson, in the games we've seen him, and of course he has started all 12 games, make it 13 now. But Ronnie, there has not been a time in this still very young season when it looks as though he's overmatched or uncomfortable. He looks very capable of handling most situations, if not all of them.
He's definitely one of the best players, at least prospect-wise, in the country. And so that's not a surprise. He's had a tremendous career already in college at Utah Valley State, and then now one of the more prized transfer portal players in America. Guy who played a little third, short in the fall, but settled at second for the rest of the year.
The runner was moving, but he'll have to return. And I think the chemistry, I think the teamwork that he and Milam have developed already as middle infielders has been astonishing.
Yeah, they had that highlight play over the weekend where Dickinson went up the middle, backhanded the ball, flipped it to Milam, who spun and threw to first for the out. And that got a lot of social. Well, Daniel Dickinson is a high ball hitter. He likes the pitch up around the letters. And you think, well, you know, maybe you should lay off that. The benefit to it is when it's already elevated like that with some juice in the low 90s, you just got to apply the barrel in the right angle and it'll go. And he is, he's got power, pull power down the line, likes the ball up and in, and now has 4 homers on the season.
LSU pulls within 2, trailing 9-7. 3 in the first for North Dakota State, 4 in the third, and 2 more in the fourth. The Tigers have scored in 3 consecutive frames, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And this is a bit weird, Ronnie. We've had 16 runs scored on 9 base hits. Which means a lot of free pass base runners. That's right up the middle, gloved by the shortstop, makes a nice play. Jake Schaffner covers a lot of ground, doesn't he?
Well, they had him shifted that way. The shortstop was sort of lined up behind the bag and well scouted by North Dakota State. And Luis Hernandez got it going a little bit offensively over the weekend for the Tigers, which is a guy they expected to have a big year offensively. Batting average now up to 269 on the season.
That's tight from Dorsey. If you've just joined us, he's making his first appearance this season.
Yep, transfer from South Florida, who was a big part of their bullpen last year. 30 innings pitched, over 40 punch outs.
Chandler Dorsey, big right-hander, throws a breaking pitch. That's gloved on the left side, and a good throw over to first base. Braswell to Jones for the out.
Dorsey, sort of your standard reliever, kind of more of a two-pitch guy. Power fastball down in the zone, and then that slider has looked pretty sharp, pretty good when he's thrown it near the zone. Or like, I don't know if it's more like a cutter too. I mean, I don't know if it's more cutter or slider, but looks like the fastball and just kind of definitely moves right to left. That's the traditional curveball.
Schaffner has been held in check offensively, but he's a very good offensive threat. And Dorsey delivered a pretty good bender right there. The infield plays him to pull, the outfield plays him the other way. LSU desperately needs to get back to the dugout in the shortest time. They need a 1-2-3 inning.
Well,
They've only had one so far.
I mean, that would be huge. You'll hear a giant cheer from this crowd if LSU goes 1-2-3 here in the fifth.
Dante Smith. He's out of Ajax, Ohio.
Where the misses tonight have been big. When LSU's pitchers have missed tonight, they have not been close. He spiked that fastball about 5 feet before the plate, and then it one hopped off the umpire's right leg. Umpires hate that. Don't expect the next pitch right on the corner to go your way when you hit the umpire with a ball in the dirt.
That had some heat and found the zone. That's a foul ball.
Tried to overthrow that time, had the 2-2 count, wanted a big strikeout. First outing in an LSU uniform. You know it's got to be special for Mr. Dorsey. See if he can gather his emotions here and to make a good pitch.
LSU a pitch away from getting back to the dugout in minimum fashion. These teams will do battle again tomorrow. 6:30 is the start.
Dalton Beck is in the LSU bullpen. I would expect that Dorsy, won't pitch next inning. Being first time out, a short reliever, a guy normally throws 1 inning, maybe 2 at most anyway. You would think they would keep it short.
Stanfield on the run. Dives. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Chris Stanfield with a tremendous diving catch in center field. Takes an extra base hit away and ignites this crowd. Chris Stanfield.
Yes, into the NCAA tournament. They won the national championship under Mike Bianco. So any team in the SEC, they get hot at the right time, can win it all at the end of the year.
Well, just a couple of observations. Number one, there's a lot of talent, obviously. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. But I think there's so much talent in the SEC, Ronnie, that every team right now has a future major leaguer on it. I'm not saying a future Hall of Famer, a future All-Star, but I'll bet you if you could forward yourself 4 or 5 years down the road, you would find somebody on this year's team in every SEC squad that makes it to the major leagues. Second thing is, every SEC weekend is at least a regional type competition, if not super regional. That's what makes it so great.
Well, that part I agree with. Definitely a regional feel and level of competition. We'll task Randy Hayden with keeping track of that, and 6 years from now, we'll follow up on the 2025 season and see if every SEC team that year has had a guy in the big leagues, at least one. Randy, Randy's nodding over there, official stats guy, been with us forever. He's on it. He's gonna make a post-it note, he's gonna put it on the glass, and we're gonna check it 6 years from now.
Stephen Milam. He's a spray hitter with occasional power, home run power, from both sides of the plate. Milam patiently draws a base on balls.
How many leadoff walks for the Tigers tonight?
That's 1.
3rd, I think.
2, 3. You're correct. Milam has ripped the cover off the ball on a liner to third base that was caught by Hamilton. A sensational play in the first inning. He hit into a double play in his second at bat, and he's aboard on the walk with a short lead at first. That was not Jake Brown's best swing. Jake has singled and scored, and reached on an error and scored. No balls, 2 strikes. He hits an 0-2 pitch well into the gap, but it is tracked down by the right fielder Dante Smith. That's out number 1. A liner to right. Pearson is 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Or I should say Brown now 1 for 3. And here is Luis Hernandez batting for the first time. Luis is a native of Puerto Rico. Milam with a 3-step lead from first.
Well, last year landed 248 at-bats at Indiana State. He had 23 home runs, 89 hits, 23 homers. He's yet to connect for his first LSU homer through 26 at-bats.
He represents the tying run at the plate and stays alive. Hernandez flinched, but he lays off of it, and the count is level at 2. That's chopped to the left of the bag. It's a foul ball.
Hernandez last year, Lynn, had a homer once every about 11 at-bats. So he's due. We might see him tonight. He is due for a homer, and Milam with a nice job. He'll move up to second. Put the ball in the dirt. Watch the backhand ricochet by the catcher. I mean, he almost knocks the thing halfway to the pitcher's mound.
This eliminates the conventional double play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner at second base. LSU trailing by 2 in the bottom of the 5th against the Bisons of North Dakota State. And Hernandez waves through that pitch and becomes the second out.
Watch the string get pulled right there. That's took a little something.
Meanwhile, the Tigers have scored in 4 of their last 5 at-bats and have forged a 9-9 tie. Hernandez leads it off for LSU in the 7th.
Danny Lashenmeyer, a freshman, pretty good looking prospect on the bump for North Dakota State. Fastball's been 90, 91. Has that good hard breaking ball that we saw touch 86 last inning. So that's pretty good stuff. I mean, that's Connor Ware-like as far as the fastball, breaking ball speeds.
Hernandez is batting .259 as he stands at the plate. He's driven in 3. The 1-2 pitch. Got him on a mid-80s delivery.
Yeah, it was another breaking ball, 84. With 2 strikes, expanded it. It kind of threw that one on the hand. That's a sharp breaker. I mean, that is good stuff from the freshman lefty.
So here is Reeves.
Tanner Reeves, who set Junior College World Series record for hits in the tournament last year at Blinn Junior College. And he was about 1 Weedy short of being out of the ballpark on that blast to right field.
Dante Smith saving at least one run with that catch in right field the last time Reeves came to the plate. Reeves entered the game a couple of innings ago. It stayed at third base. 1-2. Did he double hit that?
I think he did. I think he got it on the follow through. At least it sounded like it.
Here's another well-hit ball. Law is back in center field. I fought the Law and the Law won. 2 outs. Come on, folks. It's been a long night.
Well, could both teams have a 1-2-3 inning in the same inning? Didn't think we'd ever see that, did you?
No, not through the first 3 hours. No.
Yeah. Let's see. I tell you, the stuff is impressive by Lashenmeyer, the freshman lefty for North Dakota State. I mean, that's a power breaking ball. That's a mid-80s breaking ball. That will play coming off of a 91 mile an hour fastball from the same slot. I mean, LSU's not seeing that. Your best chance is to just not swing and hope it's a ball. Hard to pick up the spin.
Curiel would be next. 2 outs, nobody on base. 9-9 game in the 7th. Chris Stanfield tonight is 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the second. He knocked in LSU's first run. And he also has flied to center field and grounded to shortstop. Lockenmeyer delivers, and that's a little bit off the plate inside.
One-two breaking ball, and yeah, that was definitely off the plate. Close by Lockenmeyer.
Stanfield will see at least one more pitch.
Curious to see if they let him throw a fastball, or I would just keep pounding that breaking ball. LSU hasn't yet to have a good swing on it. They tried to sneak a fastball in there, but couldn't guide it over the plate.
The 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul spoiled by Stanfield. Here we go at 3-2. Sliced into the air, pretty well hit, but playable in right field. And the corner outfielder, Dante Smith, makes the
1-2-3
catch.
inning.
First time we have not seen a base runner by either team.
That's right.
So we go to the 8th. 9 for both sides.
Conference ranked in the top 25. That is impressive when basically half the top 25 is from the SEC.
Oh, it's incredible, but the thing about it, it's common these days.
Yeah, baseball and softball, really.
Tommy Simon is 1 for 3. He's driven in a run. batting 154. You've been impressed with Cowan, haven't you?
I really have. I mean, look, he's not a surprise. The guy was a great pitcher at Wofford, won double-digit games a year ago, threw over 100 innings, you know, just dominated.
This is trouble if it stays fair, and it is a fair ball. It'll be a ground rule double. That's his first of the year.
And how about Tommy Simon, the number 9 hitter in the lineup? He came in 1 for 10 on the season. That's an elevated changeup, a mistake by Cowan. And now he picks up his second hit. He had a single back in the third, and then he has a double here. So he is 2 for 4 on the night. What a memory Tommy Simon is making for himself. Freshman out of Fargo, North Dakota, a hometown boy.
And whenever he can get on base, North Dakota State's best hitter follows him, Jake Schaffner. LSU pitching has done a good job on him tonight. He's 0 for 4. He has driven in a run, but this is a very dangerous hitter. 9-9 ball game. We play in the 8th. LSU tried the timing pickoff play. Schaffner is out of Janesville, Wisconsin. And he hits one deep. Stanfield backing up. He's got room. He makes the catch. The relay throw is not forthcoming. The runner moves to third as Schaffner hits it deep enough for Simon to easily advance 90 feet. So, Ronnie, he got the job done.
Yeah, he moved the runner over, and now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. LSU will play the infield in. And this will be a fun matchup. You know, LSU's defense has really been put to the challenge and passed the test with flying colors through the first few weeks. They have made some crucial plays defensively late in games to help them win games.
Smith takes a strike. Dante has struck out a couple of times. He's 0 for 3. Cowan is seeking a strikeout right here. The 1-strike pitch. Line into the glove of the second baseman.
There's another great play defensively by LSU. My goodness.
Dickinson in the right place at the right time with the right instincts.
Daniel Dickinson, watch, sticks his arm out, jabs it. I mean, that ball off the bat looks like it's going to be a base hit. Bison take the lead. Instead, Dickinson makes a fantastic catch.
So the Tigers have dehorned 2 Bisons, and they need to get another one.
So Daniel Dickinson, who is having a fantastic start to his LSU career offensively, but man, he has made a name for himself defensively here. He had the fantastic highlight play over the weekend where he backhanded up the middle, flipped it to Milam, but he's also made a couple of great catches on liners late in games too for the Tigers.
LSU's defense retreats into normal position for Kyle Law. Steve right. Law has a triple to center field with an RBI. Since then, he has struck out a couple of times and grounded out to third. The go-ahead runner for the Bisons is at third base, 2 outs. Pulls it in, and Cowan does an outstanding job, along with some very helpful defense, in keeping North Dakota State off the scoreboard in the 8th. We move forward in a 9-9 game. Ronnie Ranch, Lynn Rollins with you. We are very appreciative you have chosen to spend some time with us. Let's see what happens here in the final inning and a half. LSU needs a run to take the lead. It has not had the advantage yet in this game. Top of the order, Curiel Jones Dickinson for LSU. Derek Curiel hitting .435.
That's a pretty rare air for a true freshman that plays every game and all the time. I mean, you know, that's still way too early to put him in the categories of some of the greats, but definitely somebody to keep an eye on, and not a surprise, right? He was preseason SEC Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and so he's lived up to that hype.
And I think, as I mentioned earlier, he looks very comfortable, very confident, very instinctive.
It looks like the game, he's been able to slow the game down, slow his heart rate down. He doesn't look nervous. I'm sure he is, but he doesn't exude it at all. But right now, LSU has quite the challenge, as the freshman lefty for North Dakota State has looked really sharp. Lockenmeyer has some impressive stuff.
There's some more of it.
I mean, that's an 85-mile-an-hour slider.
And he just fooled one of the best hitters on the LSU team.
You're not going to see a whole lot of lefties throwing 85, 86-mile-an-hour sliders around the zone. He's got the get-it-over pitch. He's got the one with 1-2 count, 2-2 count, the wipeout breaking ball. And then, oh, by the way, don't sleep on that 90, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. This will be a fun matchup.
Now let's see how he works Jared Jones. First pitch, fastball.
Well, he got a pitch to hit there. Jones got the fastball. The young freshman challenged him, threw a good heater right above the knee, and Jones fouled it back. Don't know if he'll see another. Ooh.
That's a high strike.
Went back at him. Jones thought it was a little up and in, but he got the call. And we'll have a little offensive timeout, as Jay Johnson is prone to do. Right, this is a break up the pitcher's rhythm kind of timeout. I mean, this is like the equivalency to a 20-second timeout in basketball, where the other team goes on a run, and you just got to stop and hope that timeout will stop the momentum in a little bit, slow things down. Because right now, Lockenmeyer is cruising.
You might say Lockenmeyer is rocking and firing. The pitch to Jones. There's not a player on this North Dakota team that doesn't realize that Jared Jones had 28 home runs last year. They know the challenge they face. Jones tonight has walked twice, lined out to center field, and had an infield hit last time. Well, a bad bounce ball to the shortstop. We'll go to a full count. with the infield shifted to the left side. The 3-2 pitch, 1 out.
Ooh, that was close. What a take by Jones. I mean, that was a kind of almost near like a 50-50 ball. Could have gone either way. We've seen that zone be expanded and called a strike in the past. Breaking ball, a little high. I mean, I think it was the right call, but it was definitely close.
That's good patience by Jared Jones.
I mean, what an at bat, right? He's 0-2. He's down 0-2. Instead, he walks, works the count, draws the walk. And they're going to call a strike on Dickinson, saying he took too long to get in the box and get ready. And that is unfortunate for the Tigers.
You've got to be alert to the pitcher within 10 seconds, within half of the 20 on the clock. You've got to be ready and alert. This is a liner to left center field. Down for a base hit. Jones will have to stop at second. It didn't seem to disturb Mr. Dickinson.
On an 0-1 pitch, breaking ball elevated. That was a mistake breaking ball. And I think Dickinson, you saw when he swung the bat, he took 2 steps out of the box and looked back at the umpire over his shoulder. He was not happy with that call.
John Pearson is going to bat for Josh Pearson. Dickinson tonight, 3 base hits and a walk, including a home run, and a couple of runs scored. So John Pearson, batting from the right side, will bat for Josh Pearson. But first, we'll have some strategy discussed.
Now they're going to make a pitch and change, and Pearson will get the scouting report from the LSU coaches on who the new pitcher is.
We've got a 9-9 ball game working in the bottom of the 8th. We will return to Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field, in just a moment on the SEC ESPN. Have a job in relief for the North Dakota team, but now it is Skylar Riedinger, and he's going to come on to face Josh Pearson.
Now the senior this year has this will be his 4th appearance. He's totaled 5 1/3 innings this year. ERA 6.75. He's got the 5 Ks, the 3 walks. He's given up 9 hits in the 5 1/3 innings. Opponents are hitting a whopping .360 against him. He was very active last year. 29 appearances last year. Totaled only 31 1/3 innings in those 29 appearances. So he was one of their main go-to guys out of the pen a season ago.
Pearson has 2 teammates aboard. Ball 1 high.
Pearson 2 for 5 on the season.
He checks his swing and did not commit. At the last moment, he recognized the twist on that ball.
Well, that's hard to hold up, too.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of man was geared up and going towards the ball, and he's able to slam on the brakes.
Three and 0. Who's next? Stephen Milam. That is a 4-pitch base on balls. And Stephen Milam has a chance to give LSU its first lead. He's been robbed of a base hit on a liner to third. He hit into a double play. He has walked, and he has a double, a bloop double into center field and an RBI.
Now we've got a ball now called on the pitcher.
So Riedinger did not deliver it within the 22nd time frame. 1-0. Milam takes a strike. LSU can take its first lead with Milam at the plate. The 1-1.
That one just missed around that outside edge. That's a hanging breaking ball right down the middle. Milam sitting back and just sizzles it down the right field line. Freshman All-American a year ago, expected to have another big season, and he comes through in a tremendous fashion for the Tigers with a double when they needed it most.
His last two at-bats have resulted in doubles and 3 RBI.
We're now going to have a pinch runner. David Hogg, the second, is going to run for John Peterson over at third base.
So Hogg is at third as the pinch runner. Milam is at second base. And Ashton Larson is going to bat. So Larson has a chance to extend the lead. First pitch is a strike. You may recall that this inning started when Curiel struck out, a rarity. Jones, after falling behind 2 strikes, was able to earn a walk. Dickinson had a base hit. John Pearson walked on 4 pitches. Stephen Milam pulled a double into the right field corner, producing a couple of runs. And here's Ashton Larson. Larson couldn't catch up with anything.
Been a little bit of a rough start to the season for Ashton Larson. You know,
that pitch was not a strike.
Kind of overly aggressive. He came off the bench right there, kind of wanting to make something happen and chased a couple.
Hernandez gets his third at bat. That had some twist to it, and it's in for a strike. Luis is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. LSU will carry at least a 2-run lead into the 9th inning. And here in the 8th, the Tigers have taken their first advantage of the night. They've scored 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, and 2 in the 8th to finally catch and overtake the Bison. These teams will do battle again tomorrow at 6:30. Two out, 2 on, 2 in. A 1-2 count. You know, Ronnie, by the end of this weekend, the season will be 25% over. Hard to believe, isn't it?
That's incredible.
Hernandez waves at one, which twisted off the end of his bat. But it was Stephen Milam coming to the plate with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position, and he rips one into the right field corner. The Tigers take the lead for the first time on Milam's 2-run double. It's LSU. The freshman from Houston. He's been used in a lot of these game-closing situations already.
Well, you know, he is their closer at the moment, that's for sure. He's got a win and 2 saves already in 4 appearances that he's had. He last pitched against Kansas State, went 2 innings on Friday, gave up 3 hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 3, and he's been very good. He's gone 2 innings every single time this year. All he's got to do is go 1 and give up less than 2 runs, and the Tigers will get a win, and he'll pick up another save.
He is the reigning SEC co-freshman of the week.
Yeah, he pitched twice last week. He went 2 against Dallas Baptist, and he went 2 against Kansas State.
Ashton Larson is in the game in right field. So it's Curiel, Stanfield, and Larson from left to right in the pasture. Reeves and Milam on the left side of the infield. Dickinson and Jones on the right. And Hernandez behind the plate, trying to close this out. And Davis Hamilton is immediately plunked, which brings the tying run to the plate.
My goodness.
That's the second time he's been hit by a pitch. That one was yanked behind the batter, who actually jumped into the path inadvertently. His instincts told him to back away, but had he not done that, that pitch would have been behind him cleanly. Here's Gordon.
Gordon tried to hit the 2-run tying homer on that swing. That ball was up in his eyes, and he was taking a hack. He's got power. You see, he's got 2 bombs already this year.
He has struck out, walked, singled, and grounded out. It's 0-2.
.94 on that outside edge.
Let's update the bruises on Hamilton. It's the 3rd time he's been plunked tonight.
I was kind of thinking that.
Yeah.
3 hit by pitches and a walk.
Yeah. We are in the top of the 9th inning. It has been a weird, bizarre, long, funky, mistake-filled at times. We've seen some great play in the outfield from both teams. Back and forth we've gone. LSU gets its first lead in the 8th inning, trying to close it out. Right now it's 11-9, and there's the first out. Gordon goes down on strikes.
Nice slider on the outside edge, away from the barrel. You see he's got a pull hitter, opens up, wants to yank that ball down the left field line. Instead, they just threw it on the outer third, and he couldn't come up with it.
Will Mann has been hit by a pitch. He's reached on a fielder's choice. He's grounded out, and the last at bat he fanned. He has 1 home run this year. He represents the tying run with 1 out in the 9th. Evans is working ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is out number 2. The second one on strikes.
Well, Case and Evans does a fantastic job. Watch where the catcher's glove is and where the ball ends up. I mean, he absolutely hits a spot. They wanted to elevate the fastball. They wanted it with 2 strikes to go up in the zone at the numbers, and he put it perfectly where they were asking for it.
Erlob represents the final hope. The pitch. Strike one. He's walked, he's singled, and he has struck out twice, has Erlob. Kason Evans seeking his 3rd save of the year. He's 1 strike away.
Evans just going right at him. 94 that time after he a breaking ball to slow him down a little bit, make the hitter question what's coming next, and then he just threw the fastball by him.
The 0-2 pitch.
Oh, a balk.
Yep.
Well, that's meaningless.
Unless he's hurt himself. Time has been called. For some reason, Kason Evans held on to the ball. I don't know if he realized that his landing was not going to be good and he didn't want to throw it.
This is a bizarre situation.
Which just pretty much fits
sums
what
up
we've
the
seen
night.
tonight.
Sums up the night. What a crazy game on a Tuesday. Okay, watch. He lifts the leg, and then he slips. I think again, this is the 2nd time in a week. We saw this last week.
Watch the back foot. Yep.
He slips. He's got too much of the rubber. You know, he's probably has his foot too much on top the rubber instead of in front of the rubber, sort of just engaged with the rubber.
So as he rotated to throw the ball, that back foot, which was on the rubber, twisted, and that's why he held on to it and did not deliver it. It's a balk. The count remains 0-2. They'll give him a couple of pitches to get reestablished.
Now the runner at second is meaningless. It's the guy at the plate you care about.
Bây giờ là cả công việc